Hey, West Murrieta. Okay, so I've got your November market update. We are going to talk about pricing and supply and demand. Okay, let's jump in. So median sales price, let's start there because of course you really want to know where prices were. Now November, we ended at $592,500 for a median sales price. Guys, I'm really thinking that that was kind of an anomaly type number. It might have just been that some of our, because you know in West Murrieta we've got some really high end and then we've got kind of mid-range. We don't have a lot of entry-level homes in our part of town, but I think maybe some more of those kind of the lower end sold that month, because the rest of the year we started in January at 610 and then we were hovering right there around 700 in February and March. But then from April through to October, we were in the mid to high 600s, and even one month we're at 735. So I really do think that might have just been one of those months, but we'll see what happens in December. Let's talk about supply. So supply, for the month supply, it means if no new listings hit the market, based on how many houses we have for sale right now and how long it's taking for homes to sell, how many months would it take to work through all of that inventory? Well, at the beginning of the year, we were 0.6 of a month, and in February and March, we stayed under a month's supply, but then in April, we jumped up to 1.2, then May 1.3, and then June 1.9, and then from July, August, September, October, we're at almost 3 months of supply, and then interestingly, we dropped down in November to 2 months of supply. So really through the summer, as the interest rates were really rising and rising and rising, we did have more months supply. Now remember, that even keel market is right at the 6 month mark, and then it becomes a buyer's market. So we're still not even close to that. Now let's talk about listings that have hit the market. In January, we only had 18 listings hit the market, or rather that's actives, I'm so sorry. New listings, we had 23 hit the market in January. And then we were at 29 and then 23 again. And then in April and May, when you know more people tend to hit to put their house on the market in springtime, we were in the 30s, and then we kind of hovered around the high 30 range. And then in August, we dropped back down again to 27, that's September 23, and then October dropped down to 19 and November 12. And that's pretty typical that as you start to kind of get closer to the holidays, fewer people put their house on the market because, well, let's face it, they want to put their Christmas ornaments up and decorations up, and they don't want to have to show the house. Now, what's interesting though is the actives, and this is the same thing that we've seen in Murrieta and Temecula as a whole as well. You know, in January we only had 18 active listings, and then it went into the low 20s, and then it bumped in April and May, it jumped up into the high 30s, and then in June it went up to 52, and then July 73, August 72, September 62, October 63. So a lot more properties that were available. So even though we didn't have like an abundance of new listings hit the market, because there has been a slight decline, or rather a large decline, in the number of buyers out there because of the interest rates, homes are taking longer to sell and they are sitting on the market longer, so there is more available. So even though we don't have a lot more new listings, we have a lot more active listings. Interestingly though, in November it dropped down to 45. Now, finally, the pending sales. In January, we were at like 21, and then we kind of really, there wasn't really a consistent pattern through the year of accepted offers. It went from 21 to 25 to 16 to 25, then 28. Then in June, it dropped down to 13, and July 14. That was when rates are really starting to get up there. And then August, it went back up a little bit to 19, September 21. But then in October, there were only 8. And November 14. So honestly, the pendings were kind of all over the place for West Murrieta. With Murrieta and Temecula as a whole, there was a little bit more of a pattern. And I think, you know, even though we are impacted by what's going on with interest rates and the number of buyers that are out there, West Murrieta is somewhat of a unique community, and it tends to be on the, we always are on the higher end in regards to scale of where pricing is. We tend to have fewer homes for sale because people tend to stay put more in our area. So I always feel like, we do tend to hold value and have a little bit more, we're a little bit ahead in regards to Murrieta as a whole. So anywho, that's my kind of take on where the year has gone so far, and with November, I'm curious to see what happens in December. If you would like to pick my brain about, if you're thinking about making a move in 2023, please do send me a message and let's talk about your specific house, your specific neighborhood. We have such great little pockets in West Murrieta that are so different, and so much of it is, okay, yes, is our area as a whole, but also your specific neighborhood, because they do vary from neighborhood to neighborhood. So let's talk about how to help you win in this market and help you achieve your real estate goals. I hope you have a great week. Thank you for spending these minutes with me, and we will talk soon.